How's it going, everybody? Happy Sunday. What's up with the squirrels? Did you guys notice that? That's crazy. I wonder why they're doing that. That makes me a little nervous about what else might technically go wrong. Is anybody else worried about that? Just me. How's it going? Hey, Renee from Ogden. I'll be passing by there probably in a few hours later today. Freezing on your end as well. So how's everything else on the stream? Give us a stream diagnostic. The resolution's good. Hey, Blade. How's it going, everybody? So I saw a whole bunch of good, saying hi's. Do you guys like when I have it kind of prepped like this? I think it's kind of nice because then, everybody, like, there's 30 people waiting for it to start. So I think that's a good thing to do. Yeah, did you see that, Craig? Did you see the new Adendale merch? It was looking pretty good. I actually already ordered one of those hoodies for myself. So I'll test it out and see how it goes. Wanted to ask what we will break today, but I guess I found my answer. We broke the squirrels already, huh? Oh, man. Hey, let's, before we get going too deep into anything, let's get this product stuff out of the way, all right? I remember last week, I said, hey, tell me what stuff I should get on Banggood, right? What stuff should I have my Banggood buddy send me? And we went a little nuts, and I gave him a whole bunch of things, and so he started sending me a whole bunch of things, but I got to get a couple of these things out the way. So let's talk about those, and then we'll dive deep into, I've got two main big topics today. One of them is Ethernet connected smart home stuff, and I want to talk a lot about that. And then if we get time, maybe we can talk about the Pixel Pro and Luciferin, because we have, I think that might work out really well. But anyways, all right, let's do this thing with the stuff. Okay, Banggood, these are links. Thanks to the Banggood buddy. There's links to these things down in the description there. This is for karaoke up at the Hobbit hole. That's the plan. I would love to tell you that I know how it sounds, but I don't. You see that little connector right there? It's one of these big honking things like this. And so far, I haven't been able to connect it to anything and get an output, but I'm pretty sure it's just me and the wires. Everything turns on, looks good. The microphones have a little LED display on here. I'm hoping to be able to do some cool karaoke. But anyways, I wish I could tell you, oh yeah, it sounds great, it works great, but I can't because I haven't been able to connect it to anything. So if you get something like this, just know for sure what kind of connectors you need, because I haven't figured that part out yet. Anyways, okay, next thing, greetings programs. Richard, we got to talk about how you interface your Lumen Cache with Home Assistant, but maybe not right this moment. Okay. This thing now I'm a bit more excited about. Karaoke mics, yeah, karaoke mics, that's fine. This thing I'm very excited about. So up at the Hobbit hole, I put this thing together. Friday night, I think it was. Friday night, I put this thing together. And it looks exactly like you see here in the picture, including this tiny little tail of a wire. So, and I forgot to take my voltmeter when I went up there, so I was not able to test the voltage. But one thing it doesn't show you here is that it does have a little indicator light on it. And when you spin it, the little indicator light comes on, which tells me it's creating voltage. So I know that it's working to that extent. When I go back up there today, I will take a pole. It mounts on a 2-inch pole. If you loosen these things here, you take this apart, and then you can connect your wires, fish your wires through a PVC or a conduit, like a 2-inch conduit, and then put that in there and then bolt it down. So I'm going to mount it, probably not tonight, but I'll mount it in the next couple of days and then connect it to my, I'm going to test the voltage first, but then I'll probably connect it to my charge controller on the RV and hopefully start getting some stuff. But I gotta say, it was pretty simple. All this stuff here is already assembled. This part is, and then these parts, these fins, you just put them on with one little thing here. There's not like a waterproof kind of a cover on it, which worries me a little bit. I think I'd like some kind of a plastic cover on there. But anyways, so there are coupons for these, both of these two items in the description. And thanks, Banggood, for being the awesome sponsor. And I'll let you know how much these charge our RV battery once we get it all done. So the phase wind turbine triggers me because of what the industry ones nearby have done to our house yard health. But small scale ones have uses. So the big ones are bad, huh, John? You have trouble with the big ones? I don't like the big ones. I want something that's fairly hidden. This thing kind of looked unique, so I thought maybe we'd try it out. And I just wanted to charge my RV, but we'll see. So we'll see if this works. Like so that solar panel, remember that solar panel that the Banggood folks gave me a while back? That thing's been fantastic. It really has been working well to keep the battery charged in the RV. I've been very happy with it. But this one, we'll see. You know, when the the other funny thing, what's that? Murphy's Law, right? Murphy's Law. Anything that can go wrong will go wrong. Well, when I was up there Friday night, and I'm like, okay, well, once it gets dark, then I'll stop working on the Hobbit hole and I'll put this thing together. And so I did, and there was like zero wind. Like usually it's real windy. There was like zero wind. You can hear him in the house, and it disturbed my sleep. Holy cow. 1 to 2 kilometers away, and you can still hear him. Man, those big ones are yikes. Have I lost weight? I don't think so. Ofer, thank you very much for saying so, but no, I haven't. I'm trying not to gain any. Although I have been working hard and not eating. Long time no see. How's the peanut gallery? Hey, Seamus, how you doing, brother? Coconut spins faster at work, generates more current. Is this a coconut? Is that what you call this? Or what's your coconut, DK? Lawrence, been watching your channel for a while. First time on the live stream. Yay, first time on the live stream. I own the Lumen Cache house in East Colorado. Oh, no kidding. Is that the really fancy big one that they show? Thanks for being on the live stream, Lawrence. That's awesome. That one doesn't work. This one works. Yeah, so Lawrence, do you have Home Assistant? How does your Lumen Cache interact with Home Assistant? Because I'm like, we've got basement walls and I could start running cables and stuff. So I'm at the point of, I've been pretty set on Lumen Cache, but I just want to make sure I understand exactly what I'm going to be able to do when it's done. Anyways. Coconut spins. Okay, I got that one already. Coconut. Okay, so one of the other things that the Banggood dudes are sending me is one of these PoE ESP32. And I already have one, so let's talk about this for a minute. Let's talk about this guy for a minute here. So I've got one of these already, okay? Here it is. And we already know, let's preface this. We already know that the Olimex PoE board works really well. And it works really well with ESP Home, right? I've got it working. It's working on my Dragon guy over here. So the Olimex ESP32 Ethernet board, PoE Ethernet board, which is this one right here, I know works well. Okay, so I'm absolutely sure that we can do PoE ESP32s with ESP Home, and you can write an ESP Home sketch with this device, and it will work beautifully. So now the next step is, how do the other options work? Can I get some of these other options to work? This one, it's 25. This one's the isolated one. So this one isolates the power it isolates the PoE voltage from the low voltage on this end. So that's why it's a little bit more. There is one that's non-ISO. That's this one. So this one doesn't isolate the voltage quite as much. So I guess you could have a short and you could do some damage or something like that. Blade subscribed. Oh, Blade, thank you for subscribing. I know Blade's favorite one is the train. Anyways, if we had no other options than this Olimex one, I would totally be happy. Okay, so this is not about finding something because this doesn't work. This thing works great. So if I had to use this one for all my wired Home Assistant stuff, it would be great. But this one also exists, and price-wise, it's a little bit cheaper. And looking at it, it does isolate the voltage. You can see see that hole in the board where you can see my head. So this one does isolate the voltage. Where did the 10 months go, huh? This one does isolate the voltage. It also has an SD card reader on it, which is interesting choice. I don't know what they had in mind for it, but anyways, it does have an Ethernet, or an Ethernet. It does have a SD card port. Now it has a USB-C connector, but you do not program it through the USB-C connector. It's a little. It's kind of too bad, but I understand. Hey, Lawrence, when you and Richard are chatting offline about your Lumen Cache stuff, include me. Okay? I want to be in on that too. I got to know what's going on. What am I getting myself into? Okay, back to this. So, this little dude does not come with basically a UART chip. Okay? This USB-C connector does not provide the ability for you to program it. It only provides power if you want to power the board that way. In order to program this guy, you got to have this little dude right here. Now, you know me, right? I see something like that and I go, well, yeah, you could do that, but I got one of those too. I got my little FTDI adapter, this little guy. It's flashed me many devices in the past, so why don't I just do that? I tried for a long time, and I could never get it to program. So I don't know why. What I did was I looked at these pins, and you can see this one is TX, RX. This one is, I believe, IO0, reset, ground, and 3 volts. And that makes a lot of sense because one of these, this is the reset button, this is IO0 button, and then on the board itself, there is a reset, and then I think this is supposed to say boot, B-O-T. I think that's IO0, but I'm not 100% sure. Anyways, I tried many times in many different ways. Yes, exactly. Yes, Quindor, it is. Yes, it is. We're gonna have some fun. This is gonna be quite an interesting conversation we have today. I'm anticipating him to agree, so I went ahead and made it. Wait. Lumen Cache channel on Discord. Oh, nice. Awesome. Thank you, Blade. Yes, Lumen Cache channel. Good. Okay. So I tried to flash this thing, and I just could not get it to program. I could get ESP Home. Wait a minute. Yeah, I could get the ESP Home flasher to recognize the COM port, but it would not flash. I just kept getting an error, and I tried holding the GPIO 0 button. I tried grounding manually the GPIO 0 button. I tried without grounding GPIO 0 because you don't always need to, but I could not get it to flash with this kind of typical FTDI adapter that I've used for everything else. So I do have one of these on the way. I actually have one of these plus several more of these to play with. So that's something that will be in the future from Banggood. Possibly need the bootloader. Maybe do need the bootloader. I used the board to flash. It works great. Okay, so Dale, you used the little board that it comes with. So that's probably worth just getting. So I've got one on the way. It'll come from Banggood. It shouldn't take too long. And we'll go from there. So then we'll test these out and see what this can do and how well we can get it to run something from ESP Home. Now, Quindor has been anticipating this moment. Our good friend and colleague, Quindor, has created the ESP, the Quin 32 boards, right? So we've got these Quinn LED ESP32 boards. Okay, so it's basically his own D1 Mini / Node MCU, right? But better. Running WLT's and ESP Home. Oh, Dale, that is great news. That's good news. Okay, well, I'm going to keep trying it. Well, once I get that programmer, it probably won't be so bad. So here's my thinking though. Here's you know where my mind is going, right? Here's where my mind is going. So Quindor has made this board, and one of the other things that he has made for it is an Ethernet port to go on top of it. Now it's not PoE. It's not PoE. Although if you watched Quindor's stream from how long ago, Quindor? Week and a half? He did show how you could do PoE. You just have to have a voltage splitter. So you take the PoE from your powered Ethernet switch and connect it to a splitter. You connect the Ethernet part then again to his board, but then you've got power coming off to power whatever else, LEDs, or you could do 12 volts, you could do 5 volts, whatever. So my thinking is, what if we make for lack of a better term, a pair of pants, because you can't have a hat because the hat goes on top. So if something goes underneath it, then it's got to be pants, right? So what if we make pants for the for the Quinn LED ESP32 Ethernet, that instead of like being the D1, instead of being a Dig Uno, which I thought I had handy, but whatever. Instead of being a Dig Uno, boxers, right? There you go, to be boxers. Trousers. Pantaloons. It would be a smart switch. And not just a smart switch / multi-sensor. We've talked about this before. You guys have heard me talk about this before. I want, and this may be only a use in my house, but I want a single device that will be communicating through Ethernet, that will be able to switch multiple circuits. So have dry relays, right? Dry contact relays, at least 2, if not 3 dry contact relays, plus a few sensors, temperature and humidity sensor, or at least a temperature sensor. Humidity's nice too, but whether it's a DHT sensor that has humidity, or whether it's the Dallas sensor that is just temperature, I don't care terribly much, but at least a temperature sensor, a motion sensor, and that could be either the microwave kind of sensor, or could be the AM312s, AM312s that are the infrared. And then possibly, or maybe, if possible, like a light sensor, just to know if the lights are on or not, or maybe for it to detect if it's dark, turn the lights on, if it's light, turn the lights off. I don't know if that'll work, but anyway, or maybe just a couple extra pins. But anyways, so the main parts, the other thing was a reed switch. Sorry. The other thing was a reed switch, because I also want to know when the door is open and closed. So I want to be able to attach a reed switch. So this is what we got to have. This is our wish list, okay? I'm going to get out my graph paper. This is how my graph paper, this has all kinds of important secrets in here. I never remember this bot code. What? Oh, how's it going? Oh, questions. How's it going? Sir Good Enough? How you doing? Okay, so got all these things in here. And we're going to make a list right now. You guys get to be with me on my brainstorming. I've already brainstormed this, but I haven't written it down yet. So here it is, the writing it down part. Okay, here we go. So it's got to have Ethernet. Now, if it's PoE, that's better, honestly, because with PoE, it's just one wire, right? But whether it's PoE or whether you have a splitter and this, that's fine. Okay, so PoE, great. Then it's got to have relays. And I would like to have 3 relays, only because I have 3 light switches in multiple locations. So every bedroom in our house has a fan and then 2 banks of lights. So it's got a 3 switch bank there. So I would like 3 relays. If you have 3 relays, then you also have to have contacts for switches, right? I was watching, somebody sent me a video about, just give the board a barrel jack PoE extractor, done. Yeah, I think that's where I want to go. That's what I'll do for this for sure. Because this pants, the thing about something like this is it's got a lot of stuff on here that you don't need necessarily, right? Like the SD card reader. I don't need the SD card reader. So maybe, you know, it would be better to just use something like what you've got and then just Ethernet. Well, you'd have to just have a smaller thing, but whatever. PoE, splitter, barrel jack, power this thing, and then boom, right? 4 is common in most homes. Is that right, Ray? So 4. And some call it fun. Yeah, PIR. Oh, you're telling them what PIR means. Andale. Thank you. All right. So 3 switches, even if it was 4, that'd be fine too. I think what we want is the ability to use one of those little relay, one of those relay boards, right? Because if you go here, you can look for these little relay boards that Quindor's always talking about that are so cheap. Like this, right? You could do something like this for a few bucks. You could do something like that too, but we're not going crazy. Let's not be hasty. Don't be hasty. But so something like this that you could connect, and then you would really just be connecting some wires from here to this other board. And this would be the part that's in the light switch. Oh, I should preface to my preface. Was that an inception? I think it is. In our house, we have an old intercom system that doesn't do anything. Hasn't worked for a long time. We don't use it at all. In fact, I've taken out several parts of it. But what that has given us is Ethernet cable. It's Ethernet cable from every room has one of those intercom spots, and it's above the light switch. So if I use that Ethernet wire that's there because of the intercom, and I connect it to this magical PoE device we're dreaming about here, then I can run from there just the data wires, basically the input wires here, to the relays, which would sit in the high voltage box, right? So these would be connected to the 120 volt stuff, and that would be inside the box. Inside this, where there's the switch box now with the 100% with the 120 volt stuff. New Quid 2 is pre-assembled, comes with QIR port, which puts out 5.1 volts GPIO for relays. Oh yeah, opto isolated. Opto isolated. Oh, this is not isolated. I don't know what you mean opto isolated. I know you mean like the high voltage is not separated from the low voltage stuff. Yeah. I know. Someday my house will burn down, but whatever. Okay. Am I thinking about making an expansion board sandwich? Yes. Ooh, yummy C# worm. And the new board below. Yep, C# worm. That's why we're calling it the pants. Which would mean this relay board would probably be the boots. First time watching live. Switched from OpenHab to Home Assistant thanks to me and Everything Smart Home Videos. Oh boy. Well, welcome aboard. Welcome aboard. Let's do this one. Yes, it's working. Okay. It's been a little tricky. It is opto isolated. Okay, good. Banana. Okay. So we're gonna do in our board, Ethernet, PoE, 3, maybe 4 relays, right? Hate to be the guy that should really properly projected fuses, isolated thermal protection. I know. Well, let's talk about that, Blade. Let's get to that, okay? Let's get to that. But first, let me keep dreaming, okay? Don't kill the dream just yet. The other things I want. So we got to have temperature sensor. I think it's important to have a temperature sensor in every room. It's not probably in very many cases that you can adjust the temperature in each individual room, but in some cases you can. Like for our heating system in this house, we can. And in the Hobbit house, we're going to be able to do it with the heating and the cooling because we've got the radiant heat in zones in each room. And we can heat or cool through the radiant heat. So we will have the ability to heat or cool each room to whatever temperature we want. We better to have a board being only control and power run from a central location. Probably, Martin, if I was building from scratch, yes. Yes, but since this particular little dream that I'm discussing is a retrofit in our existing house. And what you're talking about, Martin, actually is Lumen Cache or something like it. Blade, why are you going to be the Debbie Downer? Gosh, Blade. Ugh. Because I live near Napoleon Dynamite now up there in Preston, Idaho. Well, I don't live there, but you know what I mean. I'm up there a lot. Okay, so temperature sensor, and then humidity is nice. At least in a situation, if you're going to have radiant cooling in the floor, you also want to have temperature, or you also want to have humidity just so you can track your dew point, right? What kind of cat do you have? Because depending on how much PoE will work. Yeah, good question. It's probably just Cat 5, so we're not going to be able to get a ton, 15 watts maybe, something like that. This whole not burning down the house thing is killing everyone. It's bumming people out, Blade. Yeah, gosh. Ruined my life. Ugh. I'm sure it's not Cat 6. I don't know for sure. I don't know, but I think it's Cat 5. I would say it's better to switch locally as it will work even if home assistant offline. Now, Timo, that's what I started to say. Another point to consider here as we dream up this master device, this PoE master device. I was watching somebody's video about smart home stuff, and because of my recent experience as I've been transitioning between my old home assistant and the blue, and things are kind of in a state of flux, it's very important that if home assistant's not working, that you can still turn your lights on and off, right? Might not even be Cat 5. Oh, really? What would it be? How do I know? Wouldn't use Cat 5 for PoE. Minimum Cat 5e. Really? Okay. Don't DIY 110 and 200. What do you mean? What do you mean, Hacho? What do you mean? We're at least as smart as the electricians. Come on. Home assistant not working. Does that ever happen? Never. What about an LM357 temperature sensor? I don't know this one. Prabal, I don't know this one. It's cheap enough. What is guaranteed? He will still wrap everything in duct tape. That's right. And it still works. Old intercoms often use standard twisted wire, at least the ones I have here, not cat rated at all. Well, I can pull some out and we can look at it. What makes it cat rated? And if I can't do PoE over it, then so be it. I do have the ability to connect to power in the box right there. You should have a cable type printed on the insulation of the wire. I'd have to go look at it. Maybe if I can get somebody else, one of the kids, to come co-host for a few minutes, I can go look at it. And Hacho, I'm very aware, buddy. I know it can get hot and melt stuff, but you can be careful. Just because things are dangerous, it doesn't mean that. Just because things can be dangerous, it doesn't mean you need to avoid them completely. Just take proper cautions. And you can still DIY things and take appropriate precautions. The world would be a freaking boring place if we could not play around with this stuff, in my mind at least. Talk about not about function on WLED, right? I do have Tasmota and built my own adapters, basically do all these things. And then rules in Tasmota. Is that right? DIY tech and repairs. I'd love to see what you got. Anything can be dangerous if you do it right. Any device is a smoke machine if you do it right. Something like that. Your insurance company wants your homes burned down and molten cables. Yeah. I will. I'll tell them. You gotta that's just it. Be safe. Be safe. If it's not ETH cable, shouldn't be too bad to pull some as long as the existing cable is accessible and doesn't break. I may be able to pull some new cable through. I don't think I would. I might try it maybe once, just pull real hard on it and see what happens. I think if we determine that it's not Cat 5 cable and it's not PoE-able, then I could still just run Ethernet through it. And and then just grab power from the high voltage in the box, which I'm already doing anyways, because I'm using the high voltage in the box now. I say high voltage, but whatever it is, 120 in the box to, in some cases, power an Amazon Echo that we've put in place of the intercom device. So integrates well with Home Assistant. Stefan, you know, I've got one. I'm an electrician. I'm always creating my own ESP32 based smart radio DrZzs. Realize always consider safety and monitor temps and stuff, but otherwise I'm not worried. Amen, DJ. Amen. That's what I'm talking about. And I think that's the good point to make is with it. You do need to understand what you're doing. You don't want to just go willy-nilly and start throwing things together. But I feel like I understand. You know, I hate to admit this sometimes, but I actually had at one point in my life the certification to be an electrical inspector. So I knew the National Electric Code well enough that they gave me a certification to be an inspector. That was in like my early 20s. I was working for an electrical engineer. So I don't know everything. I'm not an electrician. And I never really, I have dabbled, but I've not, you know, I've not been an electrician. And I didn't take electrical engineering. I just kind of learned on the job sort of stuff and took a few classes and a few tests. But my point is just, you can do things safely. You can go outside the box and still be safe. Now, I hate saying that they trusted you that much. I know, right? I hate saying that because I do things that I know break the code too. Your home insurance representative on the stream? Nope. Use the intercom in my house to activate Electrotanecom 2006 4-wire 12-volt 5-volt PulseCom Wi-Fi. Open the door. Thank you. Oh, awesome. Off topic, my girlfriend likes to train. It's her first live stream. Yo, here you go. This is for you, Martin girlfriend. Basic safety and a clear mind gets you a long way. That's right. And sometimes things do blow up, and it's okay. That's why we have circuit breakers. And electrical tape, right? You can do anything with electrical tape.
You really can.
I'm teaching my kids these things. It's bad. It's bad. Okay, we were on temperature sensors. Safety third. Cool first. Functional second. Safety third.
I like that list.
That's a good list, right? I'm going to write that down. Cool first. Function second. Safety third. Oh, dear. Oh, how's it going, Father Time? I haven't worked on the bug. I just know you're going to ask. But I'm thinking about it. I'm constantly thinking about it. I'm doing like, if you like musicals and you watch The Music Man. In The Music Man, he tells the kids, you know, use the think method. You think about the music and then you can play it. So I'm doing that with the bug. I'm thinking about the bug and then someday it'll run. And then if you never blow anything up, what the heck fun is that, right? You can do anything with duct tape. Man, I've been lied to. Electrical tape, yeah. Function before cool, but safety is in a good place. You guys are awesome. I need some electrical wire. I need to ask if you had some. I'm doing my live stream. My mom. My uncle is at my mom's house remodeling or making a bathroom. When you come for dinner, we can see what I have. I know, it's there. Okay, there we go. Poor bug is in such trouble. Okay. All right. So temperature sensor, and then the other important sensor is a motion sensor. I would be in favor of the DHT sensors. I know not everybody likes the DHT sensors, but I'm a big fan of the DHT22 sensors. They just work, and it gives you humidity as well. If I wasn't going to do that, the Dallas temperature sensors do work as well. They're, I think, a little more accurate, maybe update a little more often, but they don't have humidity. But either way. So temperature sensors, fine. Motion sensor, I would go, this is just me thinking, okay, what do I know how well it functions? The PIR AM312s work really well. I know that there's the microwave ones that work better, and maybe I could get that to work, but for now, let's do that. Well, let's all do this. Smash that like button. Hope I can buy some electrical tape instead of duct tape. If you want things to stick together, you use duct tape. If you want things to not spark, you use electrical tape. See? Neil says AM312 is fine. Good. We'll go with the AM312. And then I do want at least contacts for the door sensors. And I think it's just nice to have. I mean, we're doing all this anyways. We've got all these pins. We've got all this ability right there by the door. Why not just add a couple extra, a couple extra wires and make a little magnetic switch on the door so you know when the door opens and closes. And then I would just say maybe just some available pins for anything else that you might think of in a unique place. But those are the main parts. I did say light sensor. What do you guys think about light sensor? How many of you guys use light sensor? You can put the duct tape over the electrical tape as a form-fitting case. That's right, Sir Goodenough. See? And then they make duct tape in all those fancy colors. LDRs, plenty of times. LDRs, that's the light sensor. They're like a nickel each. To mitigate ghost switching, try zip system tape. It's really sticky. I don't know what that is. Super cheap. All in favor, say aye. Light dependent resistors. Oh, okay. Zigbee light sensor in home system. Okay. So let's do a light sensor, or I would just call it a lux sensor. Now, which one would you guys use? Something that is fairly modular during the night. I guess so. And I'm thinking in my head here about the automation ability for a light sensor. Because if you have a motion sensor and if you have the lights turn on with motion, then the problem that people always have is they, in bed at night, they roll over, they get up, and then the light turns on. You can't have that. You could do it based on a timer. So say that if there's motion, but it's after a certain time, don't turn the light on. But the other thing you could say is if there's motion, no, that wouldn't work. I was going to say if there's motion and the light's not on, but maybe it doesn't matter. Molding and epoxy. There you go, Chris. Ooh, I2C. I haven't done much I2C. BH1750. Remove the Fresnel lens hysteresis so there has to be a certain amount of motion. Quire motion sensors have a lux sensor built in. Yeah. I like them. Bed sensor. Oh, yeah, bed sensor's good. Dim lights based on the light sensor. If you're really dark, use 10%. Oh, that's a good idea, Stefan. That's a good idea. Now, but this light sensor, I guess if you're talking about the light sensor being in the room, I don't know. I guess I'll make the ability for it to be there, but hand wave detection. Oh, okay. Oh, I see. So if you remove that little reflector, then it's just hand wave things. Maybe a little OLED display. Can do awesome stuff with ESP Home. Oh, Quindor. Yeah. I do really like having my HA switch plate. It does work pretty well. Bed sensor. Where am I going to put this thing? Doesn't like my blinds in the sun. Oh, really? I'm putting it, it'll be next to the door. And most rooms, it won't be facing directly at a window or won't be very close to the window. Cat 3. Well, I know it has 8 wires, Chris. I know it has 8 wires. So Neil's really, so you just take that little bug eye looking thing off, and then it only works if you really wave your hand. Is that what you're saying? Red light in the bathroom at night, as red light does not wake you up or mess with night vision. Oh, that's a good idea. Refer me to any tutorials for this project. Do they integrate with Home Assistant? Oh, Metrics Gaming. Which project are you talking about, Nicholas? Sunrise, sunset triggers with motion sensors is enough. Yeah, that's probably it. Anyways, okay, so let's think about... So what we want to do now, the next thing we need to do in this case, the DH weren't accurate with, you know what? Hold on, DK, did you try the AM312s? I'm sorry, the DHTs. Never mind. Scratch that. Forget I just said anything. Let's go into Quindor. Quindor, where do we find the pinouts for this, buddy? I know you've shared them, because what we want to do is just start determining which pins we can use for which things, right? This is the one we want right here. So this is what it's going to look like. It's a sandwich. It's got the ESP32, the Ethernet hat, the whatever we're going to call this magic switch of awesomeness as the pants, and then maybe the relay board as the boots. Oh, DIY weather station. No worries. You can have all the side conversations you want. Yo, 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 what's up, Tech Turtle? Oh man. Tech Turtle, can we show him what you made for me? Can I show him what you made for me? So, Tech Turtle has a, what is it, a laser engraver or something, right? Tech Turtle has a laser engraver, and we were talking about like making some, initially he was talking about making some like cases, like did you know cases. We talked about like acrylic cutting and stuff, and it's kind of expensive. And then, you know, we're doing the Hobbit whole thing, and Adendale, right? You know, this, we got the logo, we got the merch, and we came up with this. I'm making sure that I get his approval. You brought it up, so now you have to. Okay. I can't imagine why he would not want me to show. Look at this. Look at these things. Aren't they beautiful? Look at that. And just like, you do a good job of showing it off, man. Cups? Yes. So these are little mugs, right? These are little mugs. I want, right? So, what we're going to do, I think we're going to be able to do like maybe $15. We'll have to see. Let me, cause the shipping was a lot too, but anyways, we will get them in the Hobbit hole. So this is my plan. Put these in the Hobbit hole, and that's what you use in the Hobbit hole. And then if somebody wants a souvenir, they can get them, right? But if you want them, you know what I should do, Tech Turtle? We should just have you sell these directly. Because there's no reason for you to ship them to me and for me to ship them to somebody else. So if somebody wants these, like some of these guys want these, we should just have them buy them right from you, right? But I think they are gorgeous, man. I am so excited. How big are they, Tech Turtle? They're 16 ounces, I think. Dibs on the first batch. He just shipped me the first batch. I bought 60 of them, and they're on their way. So we'll get some of these out, and then I think we'll just set that up, Tech Turtle, where you can just get the orders and you can ship them out directly if you want to do that. Anyways, I think they're freaking awesome. I'm so excited about them. We're going to give these away to like the contractors that are helping us, and the TV people that have been working with us and stuff. So these are kind of fun. And stealing cups from the Hobbit hole. So instead of stealing towels, yes. So here's my plan streetwise is kind of like that. Like I'm going to put these in the house, in the Hobbit hole for people to use. And if they want to take them, they can, and then we'll just charge them if they do. You know what I'm saying? So don't take the crappy ones, take a new one, and then we'll just charge you. But anyways, maybe try the brass ones to keep in the Hobbit hole. Door prize. Ooh, door prize is a good idea. Anyways, these are, they only have a few colors. They had a blue, a black, a red, and this. And I thought about the black ones, but the handle on all of them, the handle is silver on all of them. If the handle color matched the mug color, maybe I'd do it a little differently, but the handles are silver on all of them. So anyways, they're gorgeous, man. Ooh, an RF tag on the bottom. Oh, that's a good one. Tell me you won't have some kind of a tracker on the cups. Anyways, so that's pretty cool. So be watching for those. We'll have them available. Pretty awesome, right? They look really good. They do look really good. I'm super excited. I'm going to be sitting here sipping my Dr. Pepper out of one of those. Okay, now back to this. We got distracted. Big surprise. It was a good distraction. Boom, 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 jelly. We'll get you one, Blade. We'll get you one. We'll get you one. Okay. Oh yeah, pinouts. We need to look at the pinouts on this thing. Here we go. Ta-da! Oh, these are the ones that are taken for the Ethernet. Okay. So what is left, Quindor? Where do we see? Oh, here's your ESP home. That's what we're going to need. But that's that part. So I guess we can use the other pins. Which pins are available? If a cup leaves the Hobbit hole, the light starts flashing, the siren goes off. Oh, I can do what you're doing. Your kids are very lucky to have fun. Like, oh, thank you. Thank you, Sahil. That's very kind. Thank you for being here. We're going to do magic fat unicorns flying across the screen just because. Thank you for being here. Hobbit hole IPA. Yeah. Hobbit hole. It's a Hobbit hole. Okay, so what I need to know, though, what we need to know, Quindor, is what pins are available. So are you using both rows? It looks like you are using. Are you using both rows? I can't tell. All pins are available except those 10. Well, so are all the pins? So every pin here is available. That's what you're saying. Thomas Lovin, what's happening, brother? What are you up to? You shall not pass with that mug. Oh my goodness. You guys are awesome. I have so much fun doing this. Oh man, this is like my favorite time of the week. Just get to hang out. So these are the same set, probably same as the D1 Mini arrangement, right? I assume. Pictures are old. Production model will come with 4x9 pin rows soldered. Okay, good. Then those 10 pins are used. The rest are free except for power and such. ESP32 board detail page. So that's this one, right? Shoot me that link, amigo. Shoot me that link. Please see the pinout article. This one. Yes, this one. This is it. Thought about putting the key on the handle, but didn't want to do something we didn't talk about. Oh, you mean putting the key on the handle? You mean like what kind of key you mean, Tech Turtle? You mean like a RF or something? I'm not sure. You tell me. You know what we should do? Anyway, we'll talk more about it. The Hobbit key. Oh, you mean the key? Oh, the key that he uses to get into the door on the side of the mountain? Marlon, how's it going? Happy Sunday. Okay, yeah, this is what we need. Okay, so here we go. So we know we're gonna have to have a couple windows open here for this. We're gonna have to have a couple windows open for this. Trying to get to the right. Okay, so these are the pins we cannot use. These are the pins we have available to use, right? Blair, what's up? Each one should come with a different password. Jetson Nano. I don't know what Jetson Nano is, Marlon. I haven't heard about it. Oh, have I heard about it? I may have heard about it, but I don't know. We should do something with that key, Tech Turtle. We should do something with that key. All right, I have another distraction, but I'm going to focus, and don't touch your face. Although, isn't Corona almost over? I think it is. Jetson Nano is the NVIDIA board. Oh, okay, I've heard about it. I don't know anything about it, Marlon. Sorry, buddy. I don't know other than I think I've seen ETA Prime talk about it maybe or something like that with the AI chip. Oh, gotcha. Okay, here we go. All right, so the pins we cannot use. We cannot use 5, 17, 18, 19, 21, 22, 23, 25, 26, 27. Okay. So that means Well, and then we know, oh, you know what we need to have? Duh. We need to have an LED. Are we just dumb or what? You said OLED display, but why not just have an RGB LED? Just even one. Just then you can have it like flash red for certain things or different colors for somebody's home, somebody's not home or whatever like that, right? Okay. So we'll have an LED on there too. So if we're going to have an LED on there, then it ought to be 16, right? Because 16 is what we already have anyways for the regular board. So let's just do that. So GPIO 16 is going to be for the LED. What we're doing, what we're building, Blair, is we're building a PoE smart switch, Ethernet smart switch. So something that we could put next to the door where your light switches go. And it would have the ability to switch some lights. Thank you, baby. So relays, but also temperature and humidity, and also motion sensor. And then we're going crazy now and getting like LEDs and maybe OLED display and stuff. So what I'm doing is thinking about, okay, how are we going to actually make this work? If we make it we're talking about making it a pants board for the Quinn ESP32. So Quinn ESP32 is the main part. The Ethernet hat on top. Oh, thank you, Marlon. I'm sorry, but I can't even help you. But thank you for the super chat. So the Ethernet hat on top, the magic switchboard, I don't know what to call it, as the pants, and then did she steal my Dr. Pepper while I wasn't looking? She did, didn't she? You turkey. And then maybe the relay board as the boots. Are you using this Jetson Nano, Marlon? All right. So let's talk about and a door sensor. So we need 3 pins for relays. So let's pick 3 pins for relays. How about 27, 25, and 32? Oh, nope, we can't use 27. 27's over there. What about 25? Nope, 25's over there as well. Okay, let's go to the other side. How about 35, 33, and 34? I don't see any reason not to use those. Oh, we actually said we needed 4, right? How about 14? How about 14, 34? Okay, so relay pins. All right, so here's my pins. Okay, so relays. Oh, I think we're going to run out of pins. I wonder if we can get to 4. We might not be able to get to 4. Hi, Dad. And they'll go Dr. Pepper and disappear. Turkeys. It ain't cool if it don't have lasers. So what program to create the PCBs for this sort of thing? Well, I've got my amigo Lemke next door. My John Lemke, my buddy, who's been the mastermind behind the Pixel Pro. And that dude can whip out PCBs like nobody's business. 16-pin relay. Board layout will dictate which pins will get to do what. Oh, okay. So we basically just say, these are the pins you can use, and then, because they're in the proximity or something like that. Okay. Well, I'll just tell him what we need or what we've got here, and then we'll go from there. But for my own mind, I just want to make sure I've got enough pins. Okay. So whether these pins are the actual ones or not, it won't matter. Ping you the link to the video, my version of what you're talking about. Okay, cool. 2811, SHC21, BH1750, PIR, buttons, and so forth. Awesome. Need to go now. Okay, see you later, DIY Tech Repairs. Yeah, I'd love to see it. Let me know. I do need what I need is the sensor on the bottom of this. So when it's setting on something, when somebody picks it up, it makes an alarm, right? Yeah, we just need to count the remaining pins. I like doing it this way. So for my own stuff, we're going to go GPIO. We're just going to say we're using 14, 34, 33, and 35 for the relays. Now, each relay also has to have a button, right? So we actually need 4 more pins just for buttons. Oh, I think we're going to run out. I think we're going to run out. All right, so we used all 4 of those. That's all we got there. So 26 is used. 18, 19 are used. 23 is used. Oh, crap. 5 is enable trigger. Yep, 5 is used. Oh boy, 13. Okay, so 13 is available. Let's do the temperature. We'll just do the temperature one as GPIO 13. We may not have enough for 4. We may have to go to 3 relays at the most. An RFID tag as my cup alarm. That's right, Mark. That's what I need. That would be really fun. Could just be a read switch, but then it would know. Oh, then you would be able to like put it in certain places, right? And it would know. It would be able to do different things depending on where you put it. Anyways. Again, cool first, function second, safety third. Okay. So the temperature on 13. What else we got? Let's see. What other pins do we have? Is 22. Nope, 22 is used. 21 is used. 17 is used. Crap. 16 is the next one. Okay. So 16. The next really important one is motion. So let's do motion as GPIO 16. Okay. All right, so there's 16, dang, 15. Okay, we got 15 is available. What else is available? 27 is used, 25 is used, dang, 32 is available. 12 is available. 4 is available. We should probably not use 0. And then 2 we said would be the LED, right? So LED would be 2. So that leaves us with 4. Okay, well, if you wanted to have a 4 relay device, you could do that. You could do it. There are enough. There are enough to have 4 pins for relays, 4 pins for buttons, one to control each of those relays, 1 for a motion sensor, 1 for a temperature sensor, and 1 for an LED. You know, that's a good point, Timo. That's a good point. No need to switch each lights, just 2 buttons, scene up and off. That would be good. Those relay boards are with I2C also, are they? Pretty first, functionality last. Same as using I2C. You can share pins with multiple sensor types. Oh, wait. The Dallas sensors, you can connect multiples to a single pin. True. Do they have, but those are just temperature sensors, right? So I don't know enough about I2C. So are you saying we should do I2C? Also use I2C GPIO expanders. Gives you the easy extra 16 GPIO pins. That might be the thing to do. That might be the thing to do. Connect 4 relays and 4 buttons on that chip. Yeah, that might be the thing to do. Okay. So I2C expander. I know I've seen, gosh, I haven't seen Travis in forever. Have you guys, is Travis still around? Good old DigiBlur Travis? I2C is very simple with ESP Home. Okay, well, let's start learning how to use I2C then. Because I don't know how to use it. I need to learn how to use it. Tasmota ESP Home support it out of the box. Makes life so easy. I2C out of the box or something else? Haven't heard you mention the OLED display. Yeah, I haven't. Travis made some Tasmota lives recently. Okay, cool. What do we need for the OLED display? Is it just 1 pin? Oh, it's also I2C. Okay, so we're just gonna go I2C, aren't we? This'll work. What is this? Why not use 2 Wemos D1 minis, 1 for sensor, 1 for the relay switch? Nails, because we want to do wired connection for one thing. That's probably the biggest thing. Oh, this is the expander. This is GPIO expander you're talking about? Shift register can give you more I/O pins too. Okay, so maybe that's something to think about as well. The other thing here is let's try and not make this terribly expensive. I know we want to be careful of the phenomenon of scope creep, right? BME 280 is I2C, I think. 2 pins. Easy wizzy. 1 watt laser to show the way to cut the thief's legs. OLED is I2C. Yeah. Okay. Well, I think we need to do I2C. But even if you didn't, all right, let's just say, if you use I2C, I doubt you need any expanders, to be honest. Yeah, I'm sure you don't. Arduino clone or counterfeit? You mean for the sensor stuff? We're going to be using, it's going to be this, I think. I think this is the, I may use, you know, Banggood's going to give me some of these, so I may use these to some extent for my particular use. But if we're going to create a circuit board that people could use for this kind of a device, then we need to make it cheap. Yeah, for the sensors, you know, they're not Arduino brand or anything, if that's what you mean. Yeah, so we need this I2C address. So give me, how should I go about experimenting with I2C? Because I have not used it. When you use I2C, do you need specific... Everything just shut off. Did you see that? My light switch is just shut off and Home Assistant is broken. Be right back. And there is the whole point. The whole point why we're doing this, because I still have problems with light switches. Can you believe it? It's just nuts. It's the duct tape. Raspberry Pi with an I2C device like a relay. You did it, Sui. I know I'm not saying your name right, but that's kind of how it looks to me. Sui? I see nothing. Just look it up. Flash Tasmota and put some SVASL in the config and values and pop up. So this is what happened. So like Home Assistant went down and was coming back up, and because there's some retained broker message, whatever, my lights go on and off. Dumb. Killing me. I'm getting close though. I'm almost, I know I've talked about migrating from my old Home Assistant to the blue like a long time ago, but I'm actually making some progress. You know, I've actually moved some of the climate control stuff over here. And some of you guys know I was asking questions in the Node-RED channels about the best way to do a thermostat, if there was a node in Node-RED to do a thermostat. And there's really not. We're going to just do, I'll just do the same climate components in Home Assistant that I did. Great video about not making your smart home dumb that I watched last weekend. I think I saw that, Shark Tamer. I started watching that. And that was one of the, that's what happens when you try and steal the Hobbit mugs. All the lights go off and the doors lock and you can't get out. How'd you make out with that? I still haven't done it. Climate object in Home Assistant with Node-RED. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I will make the climate, I'll make a climate entity in Home Assistant. And then each climate entity will control a certain relay, right? A certain zone in the house. And then I'll use Node-RED to just manage which ones come on when and stuff like that. Look at ESP Home for I2C support. Okay, my entire home Ethernet setup went down on Thursday. 137 out of 140 devices fell off. No, Nicholas. Oh no. Did you get it? Did you get it worked out? What did you come up with, Nicholas? What happened? What did you do? I have been pruning my Home Assistant tree that has grown in my house, or maybe it's a weed. Sure, let's make it more complicated. MQTT, Zigbee, as well as Node-RED and Home Assistant. My blue is not going to get to be configured before you finish migrating yours at this rate. Mine is shipping till mid-May. Oh, I don't know. It's going to be a long time. Node, MCUs, Node, brown out and reset. Yes, Mike. Yeah, certainly. They're pretty power sensitive, at least depending on the device you have, which Node MCU or D1 Mini or whatever. Sometimes their power regulators or their little voltage regulators on them are not very good. And I think a lot of times when people have problems with them, That's the problem. The problem is that the chip's just not getting the power that it needs, and so it resets. And it may be because maybe you're drawing too much from it. You know, like if you have LEDs hooked up to it, or if you've got, I don't know, whatever kind of load, maybe multiple relays, maybe something that's pulling the load through the board, and then the power supply that's providing power to the chip is not able to keep up, then yeah, you can get that for sure. In fact, I think that's probably a lot of the problems that we have with these Wi-Fi boards. I'm starting to think it's something along those lines. They're node to brown out. Yep. This looks to have good info about ESP32s and eyes. Ooh, random nerds. I love random nerd tutorials. What advantage of things like I2C or custom Arduino over cheap Wi-Fi Zigbee switch? Well, in this case, I think I2C, the reason to use that is just to be able to expand the number of things you can connect to a couple of wires. So with I2C, you can have like 2 wires, and you can have multiple things connected to it. And each of those things has an address, basically. So it can know what sensor is giving the data without having 2 dedicated wires to each sensor. Does that make sense? So it's different than, you know, a cheap Wi-Fi or Zigbee switch. I'm trying to go with as much wired stuff as I can because I've had so much headache with Wi-Fi sometimes. So kids are being loud. Let me close my door. Okay. Having a capacitor help? Probably. Maybe the good boards have a capacitor, or they have a good capacitor and bad ones don't. I don't know. Okay. Well, let's see. I guess we're in good shape. So we're in good shape. If I wanted to, like if I needed to do it, scroll, you're making me... The steakhouse burger's making you hungry. Okay, I need to learn this. I totally need to learn this. And what else can you do? So temperatures, LCD displays. What else is there? What else is there? Can you do, you can do relays, right? You can control relays with this. You just have to have an I2C control board, I2C bus interface, 2-wire instances. I'm going to have to read about this. This might be a little bit tricky. I like it. I like the idea. At least I do know, based on the number of pins that you have available, that you don't have to have I2C. I could do it with this number of pins, especially if I didn't do 4 relays. If I did 3 relays, then I would be able to have 3 relays, 3 buttons, and temperature, motion, and LED, and then I would actually have 2 other displays, so I could still do the OLED display. The OLED display without I2C. It's just if we don't go 4 switches or 4 relays. But I guess if you're gonna do I2C, Banggood, search for I2C relay board. Banggood to the rescue! Did you see that? Did you see that? What the beep? What was that? All I saw was a butt. I just looked up in time to see a butt. What in the world is going on? Oh, this one controls relays. Oh, sweet. Okay. That'll do. I was in somebody's house. I was in somebody's house the other day, and they had some of these brilliant switches, and I'm thinking, oh my gosh, those are so expensive. I don't have time to watch right now, but I want to stop by and say hi. You're my hero. Thanks, Tyler. See you later. You're my hero. I don't think you can do that, DK. Quindor could probably tell us. Can you, if you're using the ESP32 for Ethernet, is the Wi-Fi available for something like, you know, relaying signals or something like that? I don't think so. Taz, yeah, the humidity, if we do the temperature, we can do temperature. Well, if we don't do I2C, then you can do temperature and humidity, but there's probably an I2C temperature and humidity sensor. So I'm going to have to get to the point of knowing, you know, like we have to cost compare here a little bit too. Make sure that we're not going to make something that's too expensive. Currently, I believe you can't use Wi-Fi and Ethernet at the same time. Yeah, I remember you saying that. I thought so. You could probably use it as a repeater if you're using Wi-Fi, but if you've got it wired to Ethernet, you might not be able to. Well, that's what the SHT21. And there are better, of course. Do not use this one. Four-pin interface. So I2C. Okay, good. SHT21 for I2C. Okay, sweet. Sweet. Thank you very much with the awesome Greek letter name. Is that what it is? Oh, this one stopped working. So bummed. We'll do this one. I can't read what everybody's names are. Oh, what happened to Discord? Oh, we're on this. It's starting the hype train. Here it comes. The hype train. Hobbit karaoke mics. That's fine. BME 280 is much better than SHT and DHT models. Dark Avenger, does it have humidity? I'm excited to see what DIY Tech and Repairs has got for us. So you saying you have this video, or you're about to publish this video? This stream is going to hurt my wallet. It's with temp, humidity, pressure, and altitude. Are you kidding me? Mari? Oh man, I didn't know you could do all those things. Well, then that's what we should do. So maybe I have to have. I'm going to put this all together because this is the kind of stuff I love thinking about. So let's let's try and let's go ahead and keep going down this path and like put it all together and like see what it would cost. POI. I think I'm a bit late to the party. Hey guys, how's it going? The best choice, more accurate. Yeah, it doesn't seem like it's too expensive. Okay, let's see what a BME 280. I don't think we want to get it from there. So the other point, though, now, if we're going to do temperature and humidity with one of these, this BME 280. Let's start writing down the prices of some of these things. Let's just have some fun here and look at some of the prices of some of these things. Okay, so here this little OLED I2C right here is counting shipping. It's $4. Okay, OLED, $4. We were looking at this relay board. Now, is this an I2C relay board? Because I assume that it has to be prepared for I2C, right? Do you have an image AI on your camera? Not right now. Costs slightly more. No, that one's not, right? I think it is. Something like this must be, though. That many channels. Frigate! Gonna send a link on Discord with I2C. Okay, great. Thank you. Fingerprint reader for alarm. Ooh, I don't have that. But sounds awesome. And just because Banggood doesn't have this thing doesn't mean it doesn't exist. Like the I2C relay board. Yeah. Well, let's look for the BME 280. Digital sensor. Where would you put this? Would you stick it on the outside? Wow, they are not cheap, are they? That's okay. 5 of them for $20. That's not bad. 3 of them for 23. Do you think these are crap? So you'd have to put this where? Like how would you mount this? You're getting ripped off with a clone. Spend the extra and buy a real Bosch sensor. Oh. Mm-hmm. 280, 64 cents on AliExpress. You're best to put temp sensor externally. That's what I'm saying, right, Chris? So I'm wondering how we gonna do that. Where do you see 64? BMP 280. Is that the same? BME versus BMP? Woof. Oh, this says BME, BMP. Okay, so it's the same thing. How do you guys seeing them so cheap? The 680, Eric. What does the 680 do? It has gas? Oh, man. Scope creep. But that is pretty cool. I actually think that would be pretty cool in some situations, wouldn't it? BMP 3 volts, 5 volts. Oh, BME 5 volts, BMP 3 volts. $5. Where are you guys finding these? Off to bed. See you, Barry. Have a good night, man. Thanks for being here. Looking for the bare chip. BME temp pressure. BMP is just temp pressure. Oh. Oh, they're looking at the bare chip. Okay. Yeah, we want the one that's got the stuff on it, right? So we would have to have something like this, the BME. BME 3-in-1. So even if, oh, this is what they're looking at, 76 cents. That is crazy. That makes me very concerned. Why would one be 76 cents and one be $10? Oof. Makes me mucho suspicioso. Mucho suspicioso. Adafruit fart sensor. Does it detect methane? What kind of gas does it detect? 10 of them for $8. I guess the thing to do is going to be get some and see which ones are crap. That's unfortunate. I'd go somewhere in the middle, right? I'm thinking 76 cents is probably like 70 cents for this one. Probably not going to function. But maybe $6 is good versus $12 for some of these others. Corporate greed, corporate greed, corporate greed. Well, we're going to say that the BME, we do want the BME sensor, the BME 280, and let's say that it's going to cost us $5. I don't know. We're just kind of guessing here. VOC, volatile organic compounds. So yeah, fart. Adafruit. Do you think Adafruit makes better stuff? How much is theirs? $15 for theirs. Where are you going to put all those sensors? You need to power them all. We'll do either we'll do it off PoE or we'll grab power from the other thing next to it. So we're not going to take a ton of power. Okay. So there's that. The next one we need to do is the relay. We definitely need to do the relay board. So let's find us a relay board. Let's find us an I2C relay board. Oh, not 12C. You silly guy. You think these will do it? Always a little bit worried about the cheapest options. 4-channel 12-volt relay. They need to be isolated. They need to be, these are 10 amp, 120. I guess this voltage, they're talking about what it takes to power the relay, right? Probably. So we want a 4-channel 5-volt relay. $1.68. These are not going to be I2C. Don't forget CO2 sensor. Oh, look. Guess what just happened again? Piece of garbage. Garbage. I'm going to yank that switch out of the wall. If you look, a bunch of sensors to have. MHZ19, huh? Checking for missing Dr. Pepper. Speaking of. Oh, it's empty. Relay board more than 4 pins to connect. It's not I2C. The easy way to see it, yeah. So, I'm not seeing any. Somebody find me an I2C relay board. I guess this one has more pins, and this one's I2C. So maybe some of these, yeah, so those just have straight in pins. Maybe what we need to find is the ones that have, wow, that's a lot of, this one has a lot of terminals. What the heck is going on here? Yep, nope. Switches. So those are good, but that's not what I need. I guess, do they need to be I2C relay boards? If we put our sensors on I2C, then we don't have to have I2C relay boards. Probably save a couple bucks. They'll say SDA, SDC. Yeah, that's what I was looking for. Tech repair. That's right. Boards that can be connected without. Yeah. Putting Dr. Pepper down a plate and set off an alarm anytime it's lifted would be hilarious. I think you're right. And I should do it like so they can't see it. So it'd be like under the desk. So when they lift it up off the desk, like if I set it in a certain spot, right? Like I'll know if I set it in that spot, like then it's it's like armed, right? It's like a trap. And then when they pick it up, woo, 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 right? I know they have been ninjaing my Dr. Pepper again. GPIO expand on the board, ESP home support. That's no problem. Okay. Solid state relays. Okay. Maybe we just do a regular relay board. Let's just do a regular relay board. Let's not get crazy. Let's not get too crazy here. Let's not get too crazy. Let's just do a regular old relay board for relay module. As long as it's dry contact, that it needs to be. And Oh, you know what? Those ones did have. Oh, wait, here's something interesting. Wait. Like this one. So look at this one for a second. It's got switches. It's got pins here for each switch. You know what that means? Put down the Dr. Pepper and step away from the Dr. Pepper. You want to make a plug-in board for all other little boards or all integrated SMD. I would like. I'm thinking the relay board might be something that we would plug in. I think we probably. I don't know, Quindor. I haven't decided everything yet. I'm kind of just brainstorming this whole thing and seeing how we best make a switch, a device like this that we could put in as a smart switch that would be Ethernetable. But it doesn't even have to be Ethernetable, right? I mean, this could even be if, we could use an ESP, the Quin 32, and somebody could use it for other things. Active high or active low. Yeah, we don't need it to be Reese. We ran out of pins if we were going to use 4 relays and it's not I2C. Drink my whiskey and pretend like I know what you guys are talking about. That's awesome. I need a refill. To be honest, my first prototype of this thing is gonna be it's not gonna be I2C probably, because I have all these sensors already that are not I2C. I have DHT sensors, I've got the PIR, AM312 sensors, I've got a bunch of relays. I notice they're not there at refill time. Yeah, no kidding. I will make them do refills very frequently, Sir Good Enough. That is my, I'll be like, oh yeah, you want some Dr. Pepper? Go fill it up. Can I do the squirrel animation? Which one? You want the classic? The old classic one? I started making a new one with me in the squirrel suit bouncing around, but I haven't finished it yet. Yellow jumpers are on the... Oh, is that what that's for? Active high or active low? With the yellow jumpers on that relay board. Oh, okay. We can do this one. Yeehaw! But then I have to talk through the whole thing because this one's gonna be a copyright problem if they hear this song in the background. So as long as I talk, it messes with their ability to detect the song. I was hoping that this meant that these were, like external contacts. So you press this button and it would trigger this. I don't know if that's true. Is it? With the jumpers. Let's see, Eddie. Hold on. Active high or active low? Oh my gosh, my lights just went off again. I'm gonna lose my blasted mind. Gonna lose it. Is that 3 times during this stream that Home Assistant has decided to turn off my lights? See this? Lost connection, reconnecting. Okay. All right. Well, it's come down to this. It has come down to this. It is time. I can't see. It's time to switch them over. Oh, that was the other thing we could talk about too. Well, anyways, we'll keep going with this. Let me go turn my lights back on. So lame, so lame. Find a home automation expert and ask for some help, right, Jordan? Oh my gosh. If you're looking for rapid, repetitive, sequential operations, PID control-based operation, then best look for SSR type. Whoo, I don't know what that means. Who's hacked DrZz's house? Yeah, somebody. Been looking into designing a smart switch myself. Solid state relays, dry contacts. Haven't seen that many that aren't cheap most of the time. If it's the kids pranking me, it could be. Sometimes if they just say, you know, Alexa, turn off the lights, that's what happens. But oh, Tech Junkie. I don't have a MQTT fan implementation, but I know what you're talking about. ESP relay hooked up, so that switch cycle for you, yeah. Somebody might be trolling me. So what I was going to tell you guys, we talked about this a little bit. There's an interesting thing happening here. So this is, so in the girls' room, right here, switch number 169. Oh, looks like it's not going to pull it up. Oh yeah, it's just not connected very well. Yeah. Anyways, what I was going to say is, and Sir Goodenough and a couple of you guys, we chatted about it a little bit on Discord. I went into the blue, the Home Assistant blue, and I've now put in like all of my Tasmota switches. I've switched them all over to be the latest version of Tasmota, or 9.3.1. But the trouble is, they don't all show up. They should all show up. It should be, all I have to do is set them to, I don't know why this one doesn't want to show up. Should be, all I have to do is set them to, turn off MQTT Discovery, have them on version 9.2 or newer of Tasmota, and then have the integration in Home Assistant, and they should just appear. And most of them did, but some of them did not. And I do not know why. I cannot figure out why. So, reboot the switch. I did. I even breaker booted them. Booted them with the breaker. Of course, this one I did, the way I did get it to work was I turned MQTT Discovery back on. Because I couldn't get it to work. Did I change the server IP? I changed it in Tasmota, yes. I changed it in the device. So let's do this real quick. We're going to squirrel for a second. We're going to squirrel away from our smart switch thing for a second. And we're going to get into this for just a second, because this thing's killing me. This thing's turning off like this. So we're going to go to the blue. Okay. We're going to go to Tasmo Backup. We're going to go to Dad's Office Wall Switch right here. Great. And this is the one that if I turn it on, okay, because it's 171, all right? So I'm directly there. All right, let's go to the console. Let's go to set option. Let's see what set option 19 has to say. Okay, set option 19 is off. All right. Let's go to the configuration. Go to MQTT. You can see that we're running version 9.3.1 down here. So now I'm going to switch the broker. I'm going to switch this to my other broker here. Switching this to the Home Assistant Blue broker. I'm going to go over here, type my password. Oh, I guess it's not showing up anyways, so that's fine. You guys can see. If you can figure out my key touch strokes here. Okay, and I'm going to change this actually to the topic to office wall switch. Okay. All right. Yeah, you all know the passwords anyways. Oh, Nicholas, trying to wrap your head around setting up MQTT and Home Assistant. Oh man, let's help you. We should be able to do that. Never. What have been turning off my is that you, Streetwise? That's you, huh? Turkey. Okay, so this still works. Oh, doesn't work. Just happened. Okay, there it goes. It just was a little slow. Okay, it's turning on and off. If I go to the console, it is connected to MQTT. Okay, now if I go to the blue, if I go to Home Assistant Blue, and if I look at my integrations, I would expect that it would just show up. And it did not. It did not. So, what do? We can go back here and reboot it. Try that. Looks like it's just, we can just restart it. Okay. I could power it off, power it back on, but community highlights, some dude did a nice car integration OBD2 bus. Oh, I didn't see that. Awesome. I did not. Is that the latest release for Home Assistant? If I restart, I mean, I shouldn't even need to restart Home Assistant. How's the alarm overhaul going? It's going pretty good. It's actually all connected. Well, it's down in the basement now, and I've made some connections, but not all of them. Do the broadcast, the config in the MQTT. Make sure that it do broadcast the config in the MQTT. So, how do I do that? Is there something in the Tasmota switch I need to change for that? Did that do it for you, Eddie? Okay, we can try that. We're going to connect over here so we can watch MQTT Explorer and we can see these topics pop up. Home Assistant Discovery. And if you look at these, it does give you like the name of them. Main floor thermostat, wand box, RV plug, quiet cool, office power strip, office lock, master crown, laundry room, boys closet. So these are all the ones that it did discover. RF raw, RF bridge, and office closet. But it's not discovered these other new ones. Well, let's try it, turn it on and turn it back off again. We can try that. Set option 19. We'll turn it to 1. Didn't do anything. Looks like it's having trouble being connected. Okay, so there it's 1. Now, let's turn it back off again. Why is this Home Assistant sensor? Okay, so that broadcasted all that. All right, let's turn this back off again. This is why Frank doesn't use MQTT. Another point of failure. Yeah, true enough. All right, did we discover anything new? Maybe. This one's new. Doesn't tell me what it is. You see this? This is Luciferin going crazy. This is my lights behind my TV screen using MQTT. So this wasn't here a minute ago, so it did something, but it's not like the whole message. MQTT is very useful. Like, I'm not gonna bag on MQTT. It is very useful. But says it's still on. I thought I just turned it off. Oh, there you go. Now it discovered it right there. Oh, so let's try that with the girls switch. I thought I did that, but let's try it. I think maybe the girls light switch has other issues. Because right now it's not doing anything. Okay, so that's a neat trick. So if it's not discovering, try turning it off and turning it back on. Ha! Who knew? Looks like the girl's light switch is not. It's not happy. It's not happy. Let's just see if we can just rediscover it. Okay, we'll go back to this for a minute. Tasmo admin for above, so you can push commands to multiple devices at once. Makes life a lot easier. They're playing with the wall switch. Currently using MQTT to send images to Home Assistant for Deep Stack. Go to Unify and force reconnect your daughter's light switch. You know, the last time I actually went to Unify, their light switch wasn't showing up, but it should be now. Ugh, this drives me nuts, too. Why do you do this to me? Why do you require me to put in my password every time? So lame. Doesn't matter if I say remember my credentials, it doesn't remember them. Okay, so there's the girls. Oh, it changed the address. 193. And that was because earlier today I had powered it off and powered it back on just because it was not working. Wait a minute. Didn't you just see that? Same thing I saw? It said 193, did it not? Gotta start using Password Manager. I do use Password Manager, but that one doesn't save for some reason. What light is blasting messages? That is the luciferin. So that is the lights behind my computer monitors. You know, that do the bias lighting. Yeah, it's using MQTT for that. I think what might have happened with the Unify interface is at some point I told it not to save, and now it doesn't give me the option anymore, so I need to reset that somewhere. Bitwarden lets you just click. Yeah, I think like I said, I think I told it at some point in the past not to let me, not to keep that password. I don't know why. All right, let's try and force a reconnect here. See, it's working. It's connected. It's totally connected. Why in the world? Let's try again. Oh, there it is. Okay, so let's go to the console. Let's try this again. Let's do the same thing we just did with my other switch and see if it works. Okay. So set option, right now set option 19 is going to be on. I know it is because I had it on earlier. Okay, I had it on because I needed to be able to control it, and that was the only way I could get it to do it. So let's turn it off. Oh, look at that. Wait, device automation? What in the blazes? What is this doing? So this thing's doing something crazy. But it didn't show up here. Oh no, there it is. Son of a gun. So it did all those automations. Oh, I wonder what that was about. But regardless, now it's there. Oh my gosh. I love when it works just like I planned. Absolutely perfect. So now if I go here and I go to my integrations, and if I go to Tasmota, there should be 2 more devices. Oh, bless you all. So I kept turning it off, and then I turned it on, and then I turned it off, and I don't think I checked, maybe. I don't know. Part of it was I was working on this on Thursday night at like 3 in the morning in the call room at work. So maybe that's part of why it didn't work. Fixed IP for devices via MAC address. I've done that some of the time, but anyways, okay. Well, that was good. Thanks. So we just did a little bit of Tasmota repair, and that will make things better. So let's keep adding up our things. So even if we say a relay board, you know, what's a relay board cost? Maybe $3. Let's say maybe a $3 relay board. And the reason I'm thinking about the relay board being separate, Quindor, kind of to answer a question that you were talking about. I think if I have the relay board separate, then I can put the relay board in the 120 volt box and have the other stuff not in that box. And that might help. I don't want to necessarily pull the wires out of that box and connect them to the relay. So just having the relays in there is probably okay. So that's why I'm thinking relays separate, everything else connected to this board, or at least like, you know, you plug it in with a couple jumpers and it goes out to wherever it needs to go out to. Right? It needs to just go to the surface. For the temperature and the motion sensor, it needs to go to the surface. Probably, right? I found the more devices you add to MQTT, the longer it takes to discover new devices. Could be. Oh, for sure. I agree on the relay board external. I do that too with the LED stuff. Okay, cool. Is that what you were talking about? Because you said were we talking about having all this integrated on one board, or what did you mean by that? Been meaning to try Luciferin for a while. Luciferin versus Hyperion. Oh, Yusuf. Man, I like Luciferin right now. I like Luciferin for PC ambient lighting or whatever you want to call that, bias lighting. If you're going to if you have a PC, or I think it works with Linux as well, not Mac yet, but if you have a PC, and especially if you have dual monitors, then Luciferin is really good. Really good. That's what I like a lot. And one thing we're not going to probably get the chance to talk about is I think I can make it so that the Pixel Pro does Luciferin with one cable. I'm going to try it. I don't know yet if it's going to work. I can tell you that you cannot take a regular Node MCU or D1 Mini, connect it, because Luciferin doesn't have to be through MQTT. It can be just through USB. So from this board, basically without any Wi-Fi at all, you connect the USB to your computer, and this board will, through the USB, tell the lights, or the computer through the USB will tell this board to tell the lights what to do. The trick is, or the caveat is, you have to have separate power for the LEDs. You can't just connect the LEDs off of here. And I thought, well, maybe you could. And I tried and it didn't work. And that was one of when somebody was talking about brownouts, that's what happens. I mean, it's not that many lights, but it's like, 40, 50 at least. And if you try and power those, you're just going to brown out. The other thing is you don't always get, depending on which kind of board, like this one is a really cheap, crappy one. So when you go to, there's no 5-volt output on this. Like Quindor was saying on his boards, you get 5-volt output. So you can actually power the LED, or power some things that need 5 volts. With these, if you connect the USB here and then you connect to the 5-volt pin, you'll be lucky if you get 5 volts. You might get 4.1 volts, but you probably won't get 5 volts. If you do get 5 volts, it won't be with enough power to really do much as far as LEDs. But I think I can do it with this. Stay tuned. I've been working on it. Stay tuned. All right, let's see. Doesn't work well here. Bogs up one core, both my computers. Okay, so we got $4 for the relays. We have this, we get this. We got motion sensors, AM321, or 312, AM312, AM312. Those are cheap. AM312 PIR sensor. These are the ones that I'm talking about, and I like them. They work well. No, not those, not those. These little tiny guys here. They're not adjustable or anything funny, but they just work. They just stinking work. I like them. $2? Seems kind of expensive, but whatever. We'll say $2. PIR. $2. Man, that's already expensive. That's already expensive. But I guess it's not too bad. You're talking about OLED display. The BME sensor is pretty expensive. What if we looked at the I know they're not as good, but these DHT22 sensors are going to be quite a bit cheaper. Actually, you know what? They're not that much cheaper. When you get them that have the board with them. I just bought a pack of them. And I want to say I paid a couple dollars each for them. I can't remember for sure. So here's an example. This one is that one's 4 wires. There's I2C. That's not it. Is the DHT I2C too? No. Yeah, it's $3. Okay. So $3 for that one. So that's not really going to be much cheaper. You're going to have the PCB would be cheap. PCB would be a few cents. And then putting it all together, probably some other things you'll need to not too much, but I'm just getting a ballpark of what it would cost to build these pants. I mean, that's $20. It's kind of a lot. The OLED display being cool, but of zero use. 11 cents becomes even more. 11 cents. I think what we'll do is make it so that the pins are available. And if you wanted to add an OLED display, you could. If you wanted to add this or that, you could. But I think the idea that we make it fit the format, we make it so that you can take the main key is, I'm going to just go ahead and close all these. I'm going to leave that one open because I'm going to read it later. And that one too. The main point, as I shut off all these things, what happened to Quindor's page? There we go. Is that the footprint fits this, right? That's what matters. That you can plug that in, and then you'll have the ability to plug in these other things off of it. That's what matters, right? Do I use 5-volt addressable LED strips or 12 volts? Both. Ofer, both. If I'm using strips, then 5 volts, because the 2812s are just cheap and they work well. Unless I want white light, which I did get one strip of SK12s, SK6812, sorry, for white light. But yeah, if I'm outside, then I use 12 volts. Not always, but sometimes. That's why you add an I2C breakout. You can have whatever you want without doing it so complex. You're right. Hey, Martin, how's it going? Playing catch up. What's the mission today? Cheers. Hey, man, so what we've been doing, we're about to end, but now that you're here, we can celebrate. What we've been talking about today is taking the Quin 32 ESP Ethernet hat and building some pants that would let you use this to create a smart switch that would be able to control multiple relays, sensors, temperature, humidity, motion. We didn't even talk about the reed switch for the door, but basically whatever other things you wanted to connect to it. So you guys know I've talked a lot about my love for the Onofre, right? The BH Onofre. Whoop, 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 whoop. These guys tell me to make an alarm. They tell me to make an alarm system. So when you pick up my Dr. Pepper, it will make an alarm.
No. Hello.
I love you. All right. So anyways, you guys have heard me talk about my love for the BH Onofre, right? And one of the things that I love about the BH Onofre, I thought I had one here handy, but again, I need to do some cleaning around my desk. One thing I love about the BH Onofre is that it's got 2 relays on the board, which is great, but it also has the ability to connect a bunch of other sensors to it, and it's really easy to do. That's what I'm going for here. I'm going for something, but without needing to include an ESP chip on the device. If you just create the pants that have the ability to connect to some of these sensors, or maybe have the sensors. The thing about making sensors, I guess, unless you make it so that the board is like part of the plate. I don't know. This is interesting. I'm having fun. I hope this has been interesting and fun for you guys. I love this kind of problem thing, right? We're solving a puzzle here. And whether we come up with anything that really works or that really ever sees the light of day is not as important as the enjoyment, the mental exercise of going through the process and what we learn along the way. So anyway, why am I stepping away from Zigbee? Makes it so much easier for battery sensors. I'm not, guys. Me? You talking about me? I'm not. I'm still using my Zigbee sensors. In fact, if you go to my Home Assistant Blue, that was one of the things that I just did, was I just integrated all my Zigbee sensors. Oh, those are my Zigbee sensors right there. Most of them are Zigbee sensors. This is interesting. Oh, this one's probably lost its connection. Yeah, interesting. one of these is through, like this one, I think is through the Home Assistant. This one is through the integration, the Tasmota integration. It's the same sensor. Look at this. Holy cow. This one is 1 hour ago. So this was the one that was using the MQTT Zigbee Home Automation integration, girls room multi-sensor. Oh, guest room. I'm an idiot. If I could read English. Never mind. Scratch all that excitingness. Blah, blah, blah. Okay. Anyways, this was good. This is fun. I'm going to keep thinking about this, and I like it. I like it mucho. Now, you guys want an update on the Hobbit house? You want to see? You want an update on the Hobbit house? Okay. We only have a few more minutes. Okay, so I'll give you a sneak update. But I will tell you, this is probably the last kind of live update that I'll be able to give you for a while, because this week we are building the dome. So there it is. And so see how it's black now? So I spent a whole lot of time on Friday night and Saturday morning waterproofing this, because we're getting ready to backfill all this in and finally get up here and start putting on the dome. This week, on Thursday, we will be assembling the dome. And it's pretty exciting, and it's pretty scary, because right now, if we tried to assemble the dome, we'd have kind of a hard time, because this is, we need dirt here to stand on, for one. And then we also need this covered in concrete so we don't destroy it, for two, right? So it's going to be a little bit hairy as we try and get through the next 3 days and get it prepared. If my concrete contractor cannot get us concrete to pour this slab and to expand the footing on Tuesday, I'm going to be hand mixing a buttload of concrete. Not going to be fun, but that's what's going to have to happen. Either way, it's exciting, because we're going to bury all this, and we're going to be making progress this week. So this is a big week. So all the good vibes you can send our way. It looks like a giant PCB. Nice. Am I still doing the Off the Grid show? Yep. That's why it's so. That's why I was saying, I'll give you a sneak peek, because they said please don't share anything on social media. You shouldn't have brought the waterproofing out on those protrusions. No, because they're not going in those protrusions. There's nothing that is. I'll go back to that picture for a second. Those protrusions are just support, and I mean, the concrete can get wet and it won't structurally probably do too much to it. What we don't want is for it to get wet and soak all the way through. I could put this is going to be a window well, right? So we're going to put boards across here before we backfill. Also, we're going to put some boards across here so that this will be an opening. And that one over there is an opening, but this one's not, and this one's not. Mostly what these do is they hold up the space of the parts of the dome. So parts of the dome have to bolt to this. That's what that's there for. Do I worry about it right in the corners? I do a little bit, yes. So I have painted the corners, and I may do some more on the corners. So yeah, I do, but I don't think to be honest, this sand, water doesn't get through it very, very well. The water just like makes it doesn't really soak it up. It just makes a canal and it just runs. The stairs, these are the stairs right here. They go down. So this is actually the main floor, and then this is the basement. These are the bedrooms, 2 bedrooms. This is the master bedroom. This is a wall that separates the master bedroom from the kitchen. Yeah, stairs go down, and then this is a bathroom here that's just a half bath, and this is the master bathroom. And this is going to be the main Hobbit door right here, fireplace, window, and then dining room table and kitchen with a kitchen island in there. Pretty sweet, right? We're doing it, boys. We're doing it. We're doing it. It's going to be so exciting. So 1 week from today, we will have a roof on it. It will be a big green roof. And I'm so dang excited. Okay. I guess that's better Going fast. Any picture from the inside? I have some, but nothing that I have like available to show you right now, but I'll find some. UPVC damp proof membrane to be sure. What's that? UPVC. Looks like a fan. Thank you, Mike. It's fun. It is fun. Has Radiant Floor been pressure tested yet? It should have been. It should have been. But you know what? I didn't. I need to get up there and find out. I'm going to get up there. I'm probably driving up there tonight. If I don't drive up tonight, I got to drive up first thing in the morning tomorrow. I'd rather go up tonight. I tried to zoom in here. I don't think the upper floor has been pressure tested yet, which is bad because it's probably might have lost its pressure by now. But the bottom floor has been pressure tested, but they need to pressure test the top part still probably. They were supposed to do it last week, but we couldn't get a hold of the inspector. I don't know if he went out of town or what. You can go back to the final video, pull that section out, and keep yourself out of trouble. You're right, I can. So, anyway, that was fun, guys. That was a good exercise. It's been on my mind a lot. I really want to make this happen. I've been thinking about it for a long time. And until the ESP32 devices with Wi-Fi or with Ethernet became more available, I wasn't sure how I was going to do it. I thought maybe that Arduino Mega was the way to go, and it still might be, but what am I using to monitor the site? I'm using a Reolink Pro. I keep opening this. I need to just not. I'm using the Reolink Go. The Reolink Go PTZ. Where did it go? That's weird. Why did it go away? I go products. Oh, here it is. This one. I'm using this one. It's awesome. It's actually been quite good. You can set up time lapses pretty easy. But you do need an SD card, or not an SD card. You need a SIM card, and the one I'm using is $25 a month. So it's not very cheap. Permitting on the building hard. Not too bad, Ray, because of where we are. Because the people up there where we are, the people that we're working with, the inspectors specifically, and the contractors, it's a small group, it's a small area, it's a small group of people. They all know each other. And so they're all kind of like, let's do what makes sense, not get bogged down in what we haven't done before. You know, I think if I was trying to build this here, there would have to be like some freaking committees, and it's gonna be all this stuff, and maybe we shouldn't let this happen, and HOA rules, and who knows, right? But up there, they just want to make sure that it's going to be safe. It's going to meet some standard building codes. We did run into a couple things like the snow load. Our inspector was really good and made us get the snow load calculations from the company that makes the dome. Also, the walls, the support of those basement walls had to be really strong. So we had to get that. And he was really good. But they've been working with us. That's what's great. It's not, they don't just like shut you down and say, oh, you don't have this thing. Poof, you're gone. Right? And they just leave you hanging. They're working with us and helping us get there. The road, right, Chris? The road. Oh my gosh. How much data? I should look at it. I have not looked at it. I should look at my AT&T bill and see what it is. But yeah, I'm still streaming. Hey, 4Tracks, how's it going, man? Yeah, I haven't looked to see how much data it's used. But I look at it a lot. I look at it every single day. I like it. I love having that camera up there a lot. So I think what we'll do, I've got my Starlink now up there. I haven't turned it on, but it's up there. Seems that it's harder part of building a home. Yeah. Certainly when you're doing something outside the box, and this house is so outside the box, like you can't even see the box. The box is so far. It's so far outside. So yeah, it can be tricky, and you got to have people that are willing to work with you. That's willing to, instead of just throw up their hands and say, I've never done this before and give up, to say, okay, how we got to make it work. What do we have to do to make it safe and work? You know, we got to make it safe. We can't like totally bag the project because it's you know, we make something some unrealistic, unnecessary rules about how you have to do a specific thing because that's the way it's always been done or whatever. So it's not a box. That's true. It's not a box. You have to think outside the dome. What's the cost of the station, the Starlink station? Oh man, it was expensive. I think it was like, I want to say $400 or $500 for the satellite dish, and then it's $100 a month. Final question: how can I talk with you to bounce some Arduino LED design thoughts off of you, Mike? We can do it in Discord. I have. Is it $800, Richard, for Starlink? Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Maybe when Richard bought it was 800. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe it depends where you are. Anyway, let's see if the sign off button will work. What do you guys think? What's the likelihood that the sign off button will work? I'm saying it is very unlikely to work. No, let's see. Well, let's see. I'll tell you, this will tell you if it'll work or not. Probably. If I hit this button and this thing pops up, it'll work. And see how slow it's going? I don't think it's going to work. Yeah. So I give it like a 1% chance of working. Here we go. Nope. Canadian dollars. Oh yeah, that's probably why. Weird that no pricing on their website at all. Really? Time lapse of it once it's done. Yes, Chris. So the people who are filming the show, they've set up multiple cameras that have been capturing time lapse the whole time since March already, and they'll keep going for another. We're supposed to be done with it by the end of this month, which obviously is not going to happen, but we will be done with it at some point. We'll be done. I mean, having the dome on top is going to be huge. I mean, that's going to make it seem so much more real. So much more real. So this is an exciting week, and I'm actually going to be up there. I only have to work on Wednesday this week. So I'm going to be up there. I'm going to go up there tonight, and then I'll come home Tuesday night, work on Wednesday, go back up there Wednesday night, and then Wednesday night, TV crew shows up. The dome assembly people come out to teach us how to do it because Carlos is my contractor up there. And they said you have to have a contractor, right? So I couldn't do it myself. It couldn't be a DIY. So I had to have a contractor, but I want to learn. Like, I want to be a part of the process so that when I build another one, I can build another one. I don't have to have somebody else do it for me or with me. Even though I would still call Carlos because he lives like right there, and he's a super cool guy, which today is his birthday, by the way. Happy birthday, Carlos. I'm sure he's not watching, but anyways, it's going to be a big week. And then it's all happening Thursday, Friday, Saturday. What show is filming it? It's Building Off the Grid. Building Off the Grid. This one. Pretty cool, right? Too bad we can't see the results very soon. I know. What's this? Starlink sells them a lot at a loss. The actual cost, really, is it $1,200? They sell it to. Wow, I didn't know that. Sir Goodenough, is that Sir Goodenough that said that? I didn't know that. Yeah, wow. So I'm sorry I didn't get to any of the questions. Were there any like burning questions in there, Sir Goodenough? Did you notice any questions that I should take a few minutes and answer? If there's any questions that we could answer quickly, I might do it, but otherwise I think. Wait, there's a Shelly Pro with Ethernet? So does this go in the circuit breaker box, right? Is that what this is? Can't find the Shelly Pro Plus anymore. Oh. Okay. Yeah. All right. Answered that one. DIY weather station outside your house in the Hobbit hole. Looking. Yeah. I might do that at some point. Yes, Nicholas. I might do that at some point. Yeah. This a product you want to sell later, like you sell the Pixel Pro, or just for your house? You're talking about this Ethernet thing. I think if I definitely want it for my house, and if we can make something that would be, viable and useful to other people, and it works as something we plug into the ESP, the Quinn ESP32 board, I would be very interested in listing that on our product page as well, and selling it to people who are interested. Definitely. So, doing both. Is there a place like PCBWay but for 3D printing stuff? I don't have a 3D printer yet. Yes, Nicholas, you can go to, it's called, there used to be, was it 3D Hubs, guys? There's a few of them, I think, but 3D Hubs is one. And I've had a 3D Hubs, I had a 3D Hubs store where you can go on and order stuff. It's best if you can find somebody in your area. Shapeways. Yeah, it's best if you can find somebody in your area because the stuff is so cheap. It's so cheap to make a thing, a 3D print a thing, that it's really too bad to 3D print a thing and then charge more for the shipping. I mean, you're not gonna be able to ship anything in the US for less than $4 or $5 probably. He said, yeah, I think you know what he meant. So if the part that you're printing is only a couple dollars worth of plastic, it kind of sucks to spend $5 to ship it, And a woodchuck would chuck all the wood that a woodchuck could if a woodchuck could chuck wood. Okay. We'll just do this. Still not working. Hey, girlies. It's time for sign off. Bam. That was a good stream, guys. That was a lot of fun. So even though I'm going up to the Hobbit hole pretty much every week or every weekend, I have enjoyed coming home Saturday night and being home with the family on Sundays. So for now, we're going to say that next Sunday stream will be at the same time. But after next Sunday, they're changing our church time because we're going to go back to more regular stuff. So I'm either going to have to push it back by another hour. So instead of doing it at 1:30 my time, might do it at 2:30 my time. Or we have to do it before church at like 9:30 a.m. So we need to decide that. Let's have a poll all week in Discord that says, do we want to stream at 9:30 a.m. or 2:30 p.m.? I love you. I know, right? I really want to keep... this has been a really good time, but I can't... At least for the next 6 months. But before us in the EU, after 2:30 my time is good. We'll set up a poll in Discord, and we'll talk about it again next week, because I think the 16th of the 16th of May will be when we start doing that new time. So only one more time on the regular time. Next week is the 12th,
the
11th.
16th. Oh, next week's the 11th.
By the way, next weekend is Mother's Day. Don't forget.
And Holly's birthday.
And
No,
Holly's birthday.
in 2 weeks is Holly's birthday.
One of the new guys can do the poll. Hey, Sir Goodenough. Yeah, show them how. We can get one of the new guys to do the poll. How about Justin Z? He'll do it. Europe will be asleep at 2:30. Yeah, I know, Martin. I know. That's why. And most of you guys are Europe. So if we have to do morning, we do morning. Just means I just have to, you'll have to, I'll be like kind of bright eyed and, but it'll be fun. We can do it early. Okay. Not it. Mike says, not it. Got to get those new guys up to speed on the bot stuff. That's right. Okay. All right. Let's do it. How do you want to sign off? Like a robot? You tell me.
Like a fan. I don't know.
Okay. Like we're just happy people. Ready? As always, thanks for watching. Until
Adios.
next time, adios,
Adios.
you turkey, you little fast
I
little
was playing
turkey.
at Holly's
All right,
shirt.
guys, have a good week.
Turtle.
And I will post a couple pictures to Discord because I think I can technically post to Discord since it's not social media. Maybe I'm not like putting it out there to the public, so I just won't be able to help not taking a couple pictures for you fellas while we're building the dome this week. It's just too awesome. So, all right, thanks for everything, and see you next time.